Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make the cloth pads. This is feminine pads that you can use every month without all the chemicals and everything that comes with it. And they are really simple to do. We're going to start with the things that we need. I have a pattern here that I do myself. It is something that I got from a regular pad. So what I did basically is I'm using this night one, but I just folded a little bit of it, like an inch or two, to draw around it. And you can use your favorite pad, your favorite disposable pad, and just kind of trace whatever shape you want there, how you want it, how you think it will be better for you. And that's what I did here. I just realized it's like the perfect size for me, and I've tried it and it works perfect, so that's why I leave it like that. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw the wings for it, and it's just like a 2-inch wing or 1.5, something like that. You can do like a triangle. This one works great for me, and I'm just gonna leave a little bit of an edge so I can sew it. And this is like the insert part of it. I need to trim it a little because it's too big for the pattern that I'm using. I'm also gonna use snaps and the snap plier. If you don't have this, you can use Velcro or any kind of button that you have. I'm gonna use a cotton piece of fabric and PUL that I have left from my diapers, from my son's diapers. And that's a great way to save if you're already making cloth diapers. And if you don't have this, you can use another kind of fabric, probably wool or fleece, whatever you think is gonna work. Also for the inner part, you can use flannel. It works great as well. And as you can tell, I left a big gap here so I can sew it. I need to trim it a little so it's not so bulky, but I'm gonna use this for a nighttime pad. So it works great. So I'm gonna fix this real quick, but you get an idea. You just gotta leave like a little insert part inside. And this fabric, the cotton, is just a decorative fabric. You don't have to use it like that. I just like how they look when they have different prints. And this one I'm using is Microfleece. It's for the diapers, or you can just use the flannel as well. I also have the insert part, and it's just a bunch of fabrics that I have that are cotton and they're absorbent. So I'm using those for the pad insert. I'm gonna start serging my fabrics, and this is the settings I'm using. I'm gonna move it to the serge part, and I'm gonna place the insert in the back of the Microfleece, like in the inside part of it, and I'm gonna sew it with the serger like that so they can hold together. And this is gonna add absorbency to your pad and, you know, catch everything. Even though the blood is not so watery most of the time, it can retain a lot of it. I've used them before. I haven't had an issue, and they're super soft. But you can add any more padding if you want. As you can tell, this is what it looks like. What I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna sew a straight line in the middle, because if you leave it like that, it tends to be a little bubbly. The fabrics kind of rise up, or, you know, it kind of looks weird after a while. So that's why I do the middle sew in here, and you can do another design if you want as well. Now it's time for me to fuse the PUL in the cotton, and I'm just gonna use the same technique. I'm just gonna serge all around it to fuse them together and have the design ready to use. So I'm gonna finish this up really quick, and it's so simple. To be honest, it doesn't take that long to make them. I made a bunch of them the other day. And now I'm gonna put the back ends up, if it makes sense. Like, I'm gonna hide the good sides on the inside, because then I'm gonna flip them, and I'm gonna hold them with pins. The pins are outside the sewing that I already did, that way I don't make more holes on the PUL. And I'm just gonna use a 2.5 length thread, like sew thingy. I forgot the name, sorry about that. And I'm just going to use a straight line and I'm gonna sew around the whole thing. I'm just gonna leave a little gap about 2 inches wide, that way I can flip my pad when it's done. So I'm just gonna go around it and finish this up really good. You can use a zigzag stash as well if you want, stitch if you want. I'm just doing this because I've never had any problems of them coming out or anything. And I'm just gonna stop right here when I get to my gap so I can start flipping them. I'm gonna show you in a little bit what it looks like. It is a small gap, but you can totally flip your pad through there. As you can tell, everything's gonna go here. So I'm gonna start pulling my pad this way. The micro fleece has to have the fuzzy side up. That's what it makes it soft, and that's how it works here. So I'm just gonna flip the whole thing, just trying to get all the edges, everything really careful. You don't want to rip the seams. Just try to get everything out, all the ends, especially those edges right there with the wings. You can also use a sewing stick to flip the fabrics, but I lost mine, so I'm just gonna use a pencil or whatever you have in hand, or like you can use like a kebab stick. Those wooden ones work great. Just remove the tip, and that's what I'm gonna do right now because I don't want them to be all bulky. I'm going to finish this up. I'm gonna make sure everything is turned, and then I'm going to start sewing with the straight line as well. I place a pin on my opening right here, which I'm gonna show you in a little bit, and I'm just gonna go straight with my sewing machine over it so it can close. Just make sure to hold everything down so it doesn't stay like a little gap open. That's why I'm doing it a little slower in this area. But just finish the whole thing. I'm gonna go straight. I'm not gonna do the wings right now. I'm just gonna go straight down and sew the whole thing because I'm gonna go back for the wings later, since I don't want my pad being bubbly on that area. So that's why I'm doing it like this. And I mean, you can totally go ahead and do them right now. I just want a division in on the wings, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sew the wings right here. It is so simple to make this. It might look a little complicated, and I'm sorry about that, but it's so simple and so fast to make them. You can make a bunch of them, and they're really cheap too. So yeah, let's go ahead and add the snaps. You can, if you don't have the snaps, just use Velcro or hoop and loop, however you want to call it. I'm just gonna use snaps. They're easier for me. I like them better. I really don't like the feeling of the hoop and loop, the Velcro. So I'm gonna go ahead and just place the snaps where I think they're gonna be better for me. I'm just gonna make a little hole and apply them. It is simple. I have a video if you want to check it out on how to apply the snaps, and hopefully it will help you a little more detailed instruction on how to do it. But it's pretty simple, self-explanatory, and I'm pretty much done applying them. As you can tell, they snap perfectly. Looks like a pad, and it's way softer. It won't give you a rash, and you can reuse them and save a bunch of money and all those chemicals that come with them. So I'm going to show you how I fold them to store them when they're already dry after a wash. I just roll them like that, and I just snap them with the buttons here, and just throw them in a bin or in your drawer, whatever you put your pads, in a little box, and you can have everything organized. You can pick the colors you want, whatever, and it's easy access, and you just snap it and unsnap it, and it's ready to use. So that's pretty much for the tutorial. I hope you find this helpful. I'm gonna make another video explaining a little more how to use them, what are the advantages of it, and just let me know if you have any questions before I make the video so I can share with you. So I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out the video at the end. It's another tutorial sewing tutorial as well, and I will talk to you next time. If you like it, share. Thanks. Bye.